Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another Mic Drop Monday. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever run into somebody on the street, like you're on your way to work, or you're hanging out in the mall or something, you bump into somebody, you say, I know you from someplace. I just can't remember where. I know, did we go to school together? Did we hang out together back in the day? Maybe we went to college together. I just can't place who you are. If that's happened to you, that's kind of what we're talking about, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. Do you remember who the hell you are? Think about that for a second. And with that being said, I think this would be a great time to let our featured speakers jump in and give their take on this, because it's so important that you remember who the hell you are. And with that being said, I think we should get started with Mic Drop Monday. Nowish.
Hey, Mic Drop family. First off, I need to say thank you. Thank you for your fire, for your truth, and for your relentless commitment to this mission, this movement, and this ministry. Every voice in the circle, every perspective, every style, every testimony, every moment of vulnerability moves this work forward. I don't take it lightly that I get to walk alongside you. So before anything else is said, I see you, I honor you, and I appreciate you deeply. Now, let's get into it, y'all. So today's episode is titled, Remember Who the Hell You Are. So let me say that again. Not softly, not passively, not with apology, but remember who okay, I'm sorry, Minister. Remember who the hell you are. This ain't your average motivational episode. This is a mirror, a reclaiming, a fire-starting reminder of the version of you that existed before the world got to you. Before the betrayal, before the abandonment, before the labels, before you started questioning your own worth just because people couldn't see it. Let's get honest. Somewhere along the way, we forgot. We forgot that we came from royalty, from resilience, from brilliance. And in its place, we took on survival as a personality trait. But I came here today to challenge that, because survival is not your final form. So let me say that again. Survival is not your final form. You were not born to carry everyone else's burdens while abandoning your own voice. You were not put on this earth just to pay bills, avoid conflict, and dim your shine. You were not created to shrink every time someone else felt insecure in your presence. You, my love, are power in motion. But real talk, life will try you. People will project on you. Trauma will whisper to you in your quiet moments and say, you're not ready, you're not enough, who do you think you are? And that's when you've got to tap into your sacred memory. Because remembering is resistance. Remembering is redemption. Remembering is reclamation. And you know what I've learned? That the version of me that people tried to silence was actually the version that scared them. The version that knew too much. The version that felt too deeply, dared too boldly, loved too loudly. And that version, she's the one I came to rescue. So I want to talk directly to the part of you that's been silenced. The part that's been told that you're too much, too sensitive, too angry, too demanding, too not what they expected. To that part, I say, you are not too much. You are the exact amount of divinity this moment requires. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need validation to be valuable. You don't need a cosign to start healing. You just need to remember. Remember that little girl who dreamed without limitations. Remember the young woman who chose herself, even when it cost her everything. Remember the warrior who stood up after every betrayal, after every storm, you can't. Because you did. And you're still here. Not perfect, but present. And that's powerful. So here's my charge to you this week. Stop rehearsing the language of lack. Stop auditioning for rooms that don't know what to do with your brilliance. They don't know what to do with you. So why are you even in there trying to make them bigger than what they are, or dimming yourself to meet them? Why? They don't have nothing to do with your brilliance. So stop waiting for the right moment to reclaim your own damn crown. It's yours. That specific crown, it belongs to you. So you pick it up, or it's just going to be on the floor, or somebody else is going to come along and grab it. Like, oh, I got another crown. I can switch out crowns when I want. No, grab your crown. It's yours. This is the moment. Not next year, not after the next heartbreak, not once you're less tired or more ready. Now, you were never meant to survive in pieces. You were meant to rise whole. And yes, I know it can be, it's not easy, especially when you're still bleeding from wounds that you never had the time to properly treat. They never got the justice they deserved. Especially when the ones you trusted became the reason you stopped trusting. Especially when your light makes other people flinch. They can't handle the glare. But baby, flinch if you must. You still shine. So let me say it plain. You aren't weak because you're broke. You are not lost because you're still learning. You are not behind because you're healing at your own pace. You are becoming. You are becoming the woman that you needed. The mother your children deserve. The leader your community's been waiting on. You are becoming the version of yourself that doesn't shrink, that doesn't apologize, or make room for shame. And I don't care what you've been through. I've been through it all. You still get to win. Not by their rules, not on their timeline, not for their applause, but for your liberation. So, this week, when the voice of doubt creeps in, when fear tells you to keep playing small, when your past tries to convince you that healing is just a fantasy, I want you to respond with power. I want you to look in the mirror and say out loud with every fiber of your being, I remember who the hell I am. I am worthy, I am chosen, I am powerful, I am whole, and I am just getting started. Mic Drop Monday family, if this message spoke to you, do me a favor, a solid. Don't just be inspired, take action. Take one step this week, one little baby step to reclaim what belongs to you, whether that's going to the gym real quick, making yourself go in there, because that's what I did this week. I've been paying for this gym membership for months and I haven't been going, but I got to be ready. So now I started to go and I feel great. Whether it's that or whether it's a boundary you need to set or, a dream that you've been too scared to pursue, a truth that you've been swallowing for too long, release it, walk in it, own it. Because your healing isn't just about you. It's about every person watching you do what they were told was impossible. It's about your children, your lineage, your legacy. So don't just heal, rise. And before I go, let me take the last 2 minutes to share this. If you're ready to walk this journey of healing, transformation, and unapologetic power with a tribe that truly gets it, join us. Tap in, lean into the support. We are building a movement and not a moment. And you can find me at Raising Kings _ on Instagram, or check out my podcast. It's Raising Kings 25 on YouTube to follow the journey, stay connected, and keep doing the work, because healing is holy. And you, my love, are sacred. So until next week, don't forget who the hell you are.
Hello, Mic Drop Monday family. Allure Unique here for another raw Mic Drop Monday motivational message. Real struggle, strength, motivational message at that. So let's get into it. This week's message is, remember who the hell you are. Remember who the hell you are. Straight like that. Straight like that. Remember who the hell you are. So let me start by saying this ain't for the faint of heart. This is for the ones who forgot their strength, who forgot their light, who forgot their value because of who left, who hurt you, who doubted you, or what the world said you weren't. That's right. This is for you. This is for you so that you can remember who the hell you are this week right here. So this week, baby, I came to shake the dust off your spirit. And I want you to say it with your chest. Remember who the hell I am. Remember who the hell you are. You were never created to shrink, to fall, or to fade into the background. You were built in fire. You were carved in purpose. You were shaped in the image of a God who doesn't make mistakes. That's right. He's the potter and you are the clay. Let him have his way. Let him have his way, because you were shaped in the image of a God who doesn't make mistakes. So why not? So let's talk about the you before the pain. Let's talk about the you before the pain. Let's talk about the you that existed before the trauma. Before they told you you're too much. Before life made you sit down and second guess your own power. Before betrayal made you question your worth. You see, there was a you that was loud with purpose. Fearless in faith. A walking, breathing force of passion, potential, and promise. But somewhere along the line, life tried to edit your power. And you started editing yourself. You muted your voice to be accepted. You bent your back to carry burdens that weren't even yours. You forgot that you were royalty, not someone's rag to wipe their insecurities with. But I'm here to tell you, the real you is not lost. It's just buried. And it's buried to blossom. It's buried to blossom. Buried beneath expectation. Buried beneath pain, but not gone. And baby, today's the day you dig them out. Today is the day that you dig them out. You were buried to blossom. Let's dig it out today. And as we move forward, no more apologizing. Why do we apologize for showing up full? for being bold, for taking up space. Why do we dim our shine to make others feel comfortable in their darkness? You were not made to be watered down. You were made to overflow. So this is your permission to stop apologizing for being loud and passionate, for having standards, for requiring respect, for walking away from what drained you and what's draining you. Because let's be real, they can't handle the healed version of you. They liked you better when you were broken and quiet. But your silence will not save them, and it sure won't save you. And Psalms 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That means that you were designed, not accidental, on purpose, for purpose. So why are you shrinking for people who didn't create you? This comeback is personal. It's time for you to remember who the hell you are. The comeback is personal this time. This is your comeback season. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were never broken beyond repair. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the little version of you, the inner child who once believed they could do anything. You owe it to your future self who is waiting on you to rise. You owe it to your calling, your assignment, and your legacy. So don't just heal. Reintroduce yourself to the mirror, to your goals, and overall to your God. And when you do, don't be afraid to say it out loud. I'm back. I'm back. And back with a vengeance, baby. But vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So once you give it to him, all is well with your soul. And your vengeance will be you walking in a purpose-filled life. Not as who you used to be, but better. More healed, more whole, more aware, more aligned. And let them whisper. Let them doubt. Because this time, you don't need applause to move. This time, you move because you remember who you are. And a word for your spirit. Let's be real. The world tried to rename you. Called you broken, unworthy, too late, too damaged. But woe unto them. Because Isaiah 62:2 says, you will be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will bestow. My Lord, isn't that something to be happy for? You can be recycled, reduced, and reused as many times as you need to, but you must drop that anchor and dock with the Lord. You must drop that anchor and dock with the Lord. You must get G'd up with him. You must gain this confidence that you need in order to proceed and succeed on yet in this battlefield of life. You must get this living ecstasy, this state of wonderment and mental clarity so that you can remember who the hell you are. And this means that God has the final word. Not your ex, not your mistakes, not the trauma, and not the crowd. You are redeemed. You are restored. You are reignited. You are RSS certified. Real struggle strength certified. And sometimes you got to talk to yourself like a warrior. Get up. Straighten that crown. Wipe those tears. Remember who the hell you are. Y'all, so as I get ready to close, here's your Mic Drop Monday mission. Speak life back into yourself. Journal if you need to. Write a declaration this week that starts with I remember. Say it until you believe it. Show up unfiltered, unedited, and unapologetic. unapologetic. Because again, you don't need permission to be powerful. You just need the reminder. And baby, this is it. This was it. This is it. This is all you need to know so that you can remember who the hell you are. Y'all, again, this is Allure Unique here with real struggle, strength, motivation. Y'all, drop that again, dog, with the Lord. Get G'd out. And of course, you can follow me on all streaming platforms under Allure Unique, our real struggle, strength, motivation. You can also check out my motivational books, which is my testimonials on all reading platforms. You can even check out some of my motivational music underneath Allure Unique on all music streaming platforms. And last and not least, you can check out my e-learning courses on the platform called The Great Discovery /Allure Unique. Y'all, this is King Talk and Real Struggle, Strength, Motivation. I love y'all.
Hey y'all, Kelly Morgan here, and welcome to Mic Drop Mondays. Today's topic is remember who the hell you are. So I want you to settle back for the next 10 to 15 minutes because we're going to go deep. We're going to spend the last few minutes celebrating you, Bright-Headed, and I'm going to talk about some free tools as well. But before all that, let's get into it. So let's get into the foundation, knowing yourself. So this question really made me think. And I thought, well, how can I remember who I am if I don't actually know myself first? So think about it. When you're young, maybe you had, big dreams that no one understood. Maybe over time, people said, be quiet. Shh. Don't do that. Don't rock the boat. You're too loud. You're too much. Whatever. And, we tend to swallow those voices, and then our own truth gets lost. It gets buried. And so here's the thing. Every time that you ignore or have ignored that inner spark, you lose a part of yourself. So I want you to just take a minute. I want you to just indulge me. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? Ask yourself, what lights me up? Do it right now. Just take 30 seconds, close your eyes, and just ask yourself those questions. What do I stand for? What lights me up? And hold on to those answers. They're pieces of you waiting to be reclaimed. Now you think about that. I don't know what those answers for you, but whatever they are, those are pieces of you that are waiting to be reclaimed. So once you've named those pieces, now it's time to accept the full picture, the good, the bad, the messy, and yes, the ugly parts too. We often are our worst critic. We treat ourselves worse than we would treat any friend. So, when you hear that negative chatter in your head, you need to take a minute and pause and reframe it. And I know that's easier said than done. You need to start celebrating the little wins. That outfit that you rocked, or that boundary that you set and stuck to, the kind words that you spoke to yourself. Those are the little wins that you need to start celebrating. Real talk. I catch myself having self-doubt. It does creep in. But instead of shaming, I have learned how to redirect it. And I tell myself, you know what, Kelly, you're doing good. You are doing good, and keep going. And then I really go to a place of gratitude. And I think about all the good things that I have in my life. That compassion will help rebuild those missing pieces and keep you going. So I'm not saying that any of us are perfect, but learning how to pause, redirect that negative self chatter, right? And not shame yourself and tell yourself to keep going. You're doing okay. You're enough. You're all right. And you don't need to hear it from me. You need to hear it from yourself. All right. So let's talk about being unapologetic, right? So now that you've accepted your truth, right? I am who I am, good, bad, and ugly, messy, all of that. I'm going to accept me for who I am. Now you show up unapologetically and you give yourself permission to take up space. You know what? When you are in meetings, speak your mind. You don't have to be raw and rude to speak your mind, but you can be honest. You can let people know what your thoughts are. Share your creativity. Even on social media, even if it's imperfect, you don't have to be perfect to make an impact. You don't have to be polished to show up. You just have to show up. Dress in colors that make you feel good. Wear that outfit that you want to wear. Do things that make you feel good. Not what's expected of you, but for once, what you want to do. So I got a little exercise for you. This week, do one thing that scares you. Just do one thing that scares you into being authentic. I don't know what that is. It could simply be dancing in public. It could be speaking in public. It could be going to the gym and starting that workout. I don't know what it is for you, but that one thing that scares you, hell, it could be publishing that book. It could be doing that talk. But whatever it is for you, show up authentically, and then just do it. Just do it. See what happens. You're going to be pleasantly surprised, because I guarantee you it's not as hard as your fear has made it out to be. And it's probably not nearly as scary as your fear has made it out to be. So, we are all works in progress, right? Growth is messy. It is. It is messy. It is ugly. And a lot of us do our growth in private. So we don't get to see those pieces. When we actually do show ourselves, everything's good. We put on facades. But to let somebody see the growth, that's vulnerability. And a lot of us will not do it. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay. Growth is supposed to be messy. So what can you do to help with your growth and stay consistent? Because that's the key, consistency. So what I do, I've recorded affirmations in my own voice. I play them every single day. Those affirmations help me remember who I am, and they keep me going. So try this. Take 3 of your top affirmations. I don't know what those are, but whatever you need to hear the most. And just take your phone and just record the clips in your phone. And then listen to them. Hit play whenever you hear negative chatter. Just hit play and listen to your own voice talk positive to you. Let your own voice drown out the doubt. You don't need validation from anybody to remember who you are. You just need to be able to validate yourself. Remember, and if you start doing this every day, this little small act of consistency is going to snowball. And it's going to help you remember every day who you are. So, what are some affirmations that you can say? Well, let's talk about the negative chatter first. So you might be saying, I'm not good enough. Or, why bother? Or, I'm not going to wear that. Everybody's going to laugh at me. But you know what? Here's how to flip the script. So first of all, you notice when you catch yourself having that moment of negative chatter, do not ignore it. Label it and say, you know what? That's my fear talking. That's my doubt talking. And then challenge it. Ask, is it true? Is this absolutely true? And then replace it with an affirmation. I am capable. I am worthy. I have unique gifts to share with the world. Every step forward is progress. So I have another exercise for you. I want you to write down 3 affirmations that resonate with you. It doesn't matter what they are. Write them down, and then I want you to go and record them in your own voice. And then when those negative thoughts surface, you can listen to them and read them out loud. And I want you to do this every day. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start with 1. I am capable. I am worthy. I am enough. And if you say this to yourself every day consistently, I guarantee you will be pleasantly surprised with what shows up. So now let's celebrate with some community wins and tools that keep all of this momentum going. Number 1, BrightHeaded Publishing. So you guys know I have poured my heart into BrightHeaded Publishing. It is my publishing company. It is my dream. And this is what I'm very passionate about. If you haven't had the opportunity, check out either one of my books, You Sound White. That is so funny. You Sound White, or Wait for It. These 2 books were really books that were close to me. They speak to me, and they are about my journey, and I'm sharing them with the world. You can go to my website. I do offer free shipping, and I'm happy to sign them for you. The Author's Mic. The Author's Mic is a mini podcast that I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I share real information about writing, publishing, personal growth. If you're somebody who's thinking that you want to write a book and you don't know how to get started, the Author's Mic is a great place to start. If you're an author or a creative, you're an illustrator, an editor, somebody in this space, and you would like to be a part of the Author's Mic, come join me. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you and feature you on the Author's Mic. Now, if you are a reader, I would love for you to be a part of the IRS. That is the Indie Reader Society. That is a book club that I started to encourage indie authors and indie readers to connect. You can find all the information about the book club on my Linktree. The first book that we're reading is mine, Wait for It, and then the book club will be voting on a new book, and hopefully if you're an author and you're thinking, hey, I would love for a book club to read my book, come pitch the IRS. All the information is going to be on my Linktree. And lastly, if you are somebody who's thinking, you know what, I really would love to write a book and get my story out there, but I have absolutely no idea where to begin, I got you. Go to my website. You can download the free guide. So you want to write a book. It's totally free. Download it and start your journey. Remember who you are. Every time, start a daily practice of acceptance, courage, compassion. So here's your challenge. Number 1, identity. The part of you that you've ignored, I claim it. Say it out loud. Celebrate it and show up for yourself. Start today. Start now. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. I see you, I'm with you, and I believe in you. You know, get your truth out there. Remember who the hell you are. My name is Kelly. I am so happy to be with you today. This has been Mic Drop Monday. Remember who the hell you are. We'll catch you next time.
So who the hell are you? But more importantly, do you remember who the hell you are? Because I'm going to be honest with you. We go through these storms. We go through toxic relationships. We go through so many different changes in this life that sometimes, just sometimes, we forget exactly the greatness that lies within us. We are freaking great. You know, don't let somebody tell you other than that. And that falls a lot into the project that I'm working on now, helping people heal, but more importantly, helping people remember who the hell they are. No more chains, fractured bonds, but we'll get into that later. So how do you let a storm, an issue, a problem in your life make you forget who you are? Just think about all the great things that you've done. Think about all the previous storms that you overcame. Think about the fact that you've gotten out of those toxic relationships and now you're in a loving, caring, supportive relationship. See, the world in general, for the most part, once they see your shine, once they see that you have a greatness within you, it rubs the whole world, well, at least 95% of the world, it rubs them the wrong way. Because they start to believe that they can't let you be great. So the easiest way to stop you from being great, yeah, I'm talking about the haters, the envious, the jealous people, the people that you're putting up posts saying, oh, you scroll past my stuff and you don't like anything that I do, because they want you to give up. And by you giving up, you are essentially forgetting who you are. You are essentially forgetting who the hell you are. Tell you a brief story. I do photography. Before this, I did photography. I love doing it. And I had a group of friends that knew that I did photography, knew I was quite good at it, because I'm going to tell you something. You know, I would get invited to parties and at the door would be asked, hey, did you bring your camera? Like, I thought I got invited to the party, not my camera. See, you can book a session and that way it's guaranteed that I bring my camera. You know what I'm saying? But once I did that enough, a couple of things happened. You know, people just stopped inviting me because I set a boundary. It's like, no, either you're inviting me or you're booking me. It's one or the other, you know? And if I've got to come to that choice, you're really not my friend, you know? Then became the bad mouthing. You know, if people say, hey, you know, Rob, you know, at my photography name is Red, Red, is he pretty good? I'm thinking about, my child is graduating or I'm getting married. I'm thinking about hiring. What do you say about it? They would badmouth me, and it would eventually get back to me. But the purpose, and long story short, the purpose of that devaluing me was they knew it was going to get back to me, but to make me think that I wasn't awesome at what I did, that I wasn't awesome at taking pictures, that, I didn't make people smile when they got their packages. So what happened was there was actually a time period that I let that bother me, and I gave myself so many excuses as to why I couldn't accept contracts, as to why I needed to sit down and throw myself into studying and not taking pictures, doing the thing that I loved because somebody else's opinion of me, which was basically a lie. In fact, one of those people that did that actually called me and hired me a few months after they smeared their name because they needed a good photographer. But that's why it's important that you remember who you are, besides those people that are telling you that you're not great, that you're not awesome, that you're not amazing. You have to affirm this the self-affirmation to yourself constantly. You have to affirm this to yourself that you are freaking amazing, because the world will try to bring you down. We have so many people around us that see our light and it blinds them. Woo, child, it blinds them to the point that they can't see past their own jealousy. They can't see past their own envy, but that's not your problem. I've never heard of the fact that NASA is saying it's a hot day, because right now it's hot in my area. They send up a shuttle towards the sun with a little note that says, hey, can you just dim the light a little bit? We're burning up down here. It's not going to happen. And when people are trying to dim your light, you have to take that same mindset. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I am going to shine brightly. When we start to live in our purpose, when we start to walk the path set out before us, you're going to see more and more of this, because nobody, and I've been saying this on different lives on different platforms, nobody comes to steal from an empty house or an empty bank. There is no team in the world that's going to get blueprints, tools, weapons, maps, and sit down in a dark basement at 2 o'clock in the morning and figure out how to break into an empty bank. It's never going to happen. Okay? Not even for practice. They're not going to go through all that. Okay? For something that is empty. However, they will do that for a bank that the safe is like overflowing with bills and gold and jewels and everything else. They're going to do that. It's the same thing with you. It really is. It's the same exact thing with you. People are attracted to your light. Once they see your light, one or two things happen. Either you inspire them and you push them forward to do greater things, or you make them feel envious and jealous of your light. And you can see how your light is affecting them. But that shouldn't change whether you dim your light or brighten it. In fact, you should always brighten it. You should always find something deep within yourself that makes you better than the person that you were yesterday. I get it. I really get it. You know, that's why I had to write No More Chains. And I'm not trying to take away from Mic Drop Monday. You know, I hope my featured speakers understand what I'm doing here as I embark on this part of the journey. No More Chains is about narcissistic relationships, toxic relationships, relationships that don't really serve us. And one of the things that I was doing my research from the book was that narcissists and people that are basically toxic to their core, what they do is they seek out people that are shining bright. They're attracted to their light. But they work overtime to dim that light, and they use so many different tools. Oh my goodness. Oh, the tool set that they have. They gaslight you. They put you in this fog. They diminish you. They try to devalue you. And their main purpose is to leave you so that you don't remember who you are. They want to break you. There are people in this world, not just narcissists, but there are people in this world that want to break you. And it's up to you whether you're going to allow that to happen. I find often that when I'm beginning to not remember who I am, when the Alzheimer's kicks in and I'm like, I start to doubt myself for simple stuff, I go back to a time when I was younger. I go back to those happy-go-lucky years. No bills, no relationships besides family relationships. You know, it's just me, the great outdoors, my grandparents' dog, Missy, and my grandparents. And I spent most of the day playing with myself. Not in that way, but playing by myself, okay? I spent a lot of time doing that. And I would remember those days because those were the days that I was building myself into the person that I am today. And whenever I take those trips down memory lane, they kind of take off on a life of their own, and then they start to expand. And next thing you know, I'm in my preteen years. Then the next thing you know, I'm in my teenage years, and then my young adult years. But one thing that holds true through all of those years, no matter what storm, no matter what person was involved in my life at that time, I always was awesome. I always was great. I'm not going to say I was better than you. It's not about a competition. See, that's where we get it twisted. Society has taught us that greatness is based on somebody else's metric or somebody else's litmus of what greatness is. No, greatness lives within you. It's always lived within you. And the only competition that you should ever have, this is why it's important that you remember who you are. The only competition you should have is with yourself. To make yourself a better version of yourself than you were the day before. See, that brings value into your life. Whenever I feel like, oh, I've got to go out there and I've got to do better than this person, I've got to up my game because this person's video is so much better. It looks that much cleaner. It looks awesome, and I've got to compete against them. No, why would you do that? It's a waste of time because you're not them, you're you. And you is great. You has always been great. You just you just have to start remembering that you are freaking great. That person's skill set is their skill set. They built it, they deserve it. Your skill set is your skill set. You built it, you deserve it. Why would you even think that competing against someone else is going to make you better as a person? How does that work? Now, competing against yourself, making yourself better, what? That helps you elevate. That helps you become that person. And if you believe that you are chosen, oh my goodness, the assistance that you can give others, because if you are living within your authentic self and you're embodying the greatness that is within you, guess what you're doing? You are inspiring someone. It could be somebody's kid, it could be your friend, it could be your partner in your relationship. You are inspiring someone. You're telling someone, hey, listen, I'm finding what's great inside of me. I'm remembering who the hell I am. Hey, maybe you should take a page out of my book and remember who the hell you are. It's a win-win situation, don't you think? If we forget the core person that is us, we basically tell our higher power and we tell the universe that we're worthless. Because it gave us that feeling of being great. It gave us these things that we do without even thinking about them sometimes. It gave us the ability to inspire others. So if you forget who you are, you're doing, get this straight, you're doing your higher power a disservice. Because they didn't put you here to doubt yourself. See, that goes against the whole plan. See, if you're doubting yourself, you're screwing it up for everybody. Your higher power is sitting up there looking down at you like, I gave you such freaking greatness, and you're sitting up here doubting yourself. You are literally doubting yourself, thereby you're doubting me. If you're having any problem, remembering who the hell you are, start telling yourself in the mirror. Take that trip down memory lane. Look at all the great things that you've accomplished in this lifetime. Look at all the people that you have touched by just your presence. And believe it or not, you probably turned a hater or two into a positive individual just because they spent so much time studying you that they had no choice but to find something within themselves. See, that's where the importance is. That's why it's important that you always remember who the hell you are. Now, back to no more chains. When we find ourselves in narcissistic or toxic relationships, we often forget who we are because it is a mental strain. Our nervous system is going crazy. We can't focus, the chaos, the freaking drama every day, the walking on eggshells, the being gaslit. It plays havoc on your soul. It plays havoc on your mental health. And me being a person that's actually going through it, I understand it. And I want to help others heal because I need everybody to remember who the hell they are. Because we've entered the stage of spiritual warfare. The world has gone crazy. The world is completely upside down right now. And we have these toxic individuals, these demons, these things that believe in love and that believe in hate instead of love. We have these things walking amongst us. And they see your light. And they want to destroy it. I want to give you as a gift. I want to give you the audiobook for free. The link is down in details someplace. It's always up in my bio. Someplace. Get the freaking book. It's a free audio book. Decide for yourself. Decide if you're in a relationship that you need to get out of because you're losing so much of yourself. You're losing so much of your greatness. You know, and if it doesn't fit you, hey, at least you listen to a good audiobook. But if it does affect you, I need you to find a way to release yourself from these chains, because they're holding you back from your greatness. Your higher power, the universe, they want you to be great. They didn't put you here to be basic. They really didn't. And with that being said, I want to thank you once again for tuning in to another Mic Drop Monday. If this message hits you, please leave it in the comments. Let us know your feelings. If you want me to stop talking, I probably won't. But the reason why we all do this is because at the end of the day, we know how great you are, even if you don't remember how great you are. And another reason, love you guys.
Everybody loves a before and after story. But what about the middle? What about the part of the story where you're losing the weight, but you're still carrying the shame? What about the part of the story where you are fanatical in your journey? And in losing weight, you actually are losing yourself. That is what Wait For It is really about. It's not the transformation, it's the breakdowns, it's the self-sabotage, and it's the ugly truths that no one wants to talk about. It is not a glow up. This is the story where she's knee deep in it, trying to figure out who the hell she is, right? This is what Wait For It is all about. And if you've ever been stuck in the messy middle, then this book is for you. Go to my Linktree, grab a copy, go to my website. I'm happy to sign a copy for you and offer free shipping.